back to my channel. I'm Nyree, and as you can tell, today's video is going to be about what I wish I knew at the start of my junior year. Y'all, it is finally back to school season, and when I say finally, I don't mean that I'm excited for school, but you know, it's giving us something to do because Corona has lasted for about, what now? Almost 6 months. Like, I'm kind of over it, but my school's going to be doing the hybrid plan, but I think I'm gonna do fully remote because if you didn't know, Corona cases have increased 90% since students are going back to school 4 weeks ago. Because I know over the country it's different. I know in the South they started like a while back. I heard that in high schools people are snatching other people's masks off in the hallway. Keep in mind they're high school students, so just imagine what the little kids are going to be doing. They're most likely trading stuff because they're going to be like, oh my gosh, your mask is cooler. You can have mine, I'll take yours. They're probably going to pull masks off and you can miss me with that. I'm good. I'm going to stay at home. Like, of course I've been outside, but they think that dividing the school in half and being like, you can go to school every other day is really going to fix the problem when there's probably going to be over 500 people in a school building at once. Yeah, no. But before we get into this video, make sure to click out of this, like the video, comment down below what your school is doing or either what you plan to do for when you go back to school, subscribe and turn on the post notifications so that you don't miss any of my future uploads, and also make sure to follow my social media, which is linked down below. Let's get into this. Okay, tip number 1, don't set the bar too high. Okay, not to say that your junior year isn't going to be great, not to say that it's not going to be amazing, not to say it's going to be horrible, but just don't go into your junior year with unrealistic expectations, because I know when I went into the year last September, I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready for this. Junior year is going to be a piece of cake. Like, I wasn't taking too many like crazy courses, so I was like, oh yeah, I got this in the bag, I know what I'm doing. That wasn't the case at all. Don't set the bar way too high. Like, go easy on yourself. Even just with the high expectations, try not to succumb yourself into perfectionism, because I know this year I definitely did. Like, I wanted my grades to be perfect because, you know, this is the year that colleges are looking at your grades the most. You have the test scores for the SAT and the ACT, all the regents that you have to take. It really matters this year. So I was trying to be like a perfect student. I didn't want to miss any deadlines. I was trying to get stuff done just like that. If I didn't have everything done in the routine that I had set, I would get mad at myself. That is not healthy, you know. It was kind of detrimental to my mental health, but I learned over a couple months that you have to be nice to yourself, you know. Take it easy and don't stress yourself out. Of course, you need to get your work done, but you also need to take some time for yourself. Alright. Okay, tip number 2, mental health. Like I just said in the last, it is so important because this year I feel like this is where things can get kind of messy up here, okay? You need to take care of yourself, not only mentally but emotionally. You know, talk about your struggles, ask for help. Don't just bottle it all up, because eventually you're gonna explode and you're gonna feel like you're living in hell. And I feel like that's what a lot of people do when it comes to school. Like, they want to act like everything's okay and feel like, you know, it's just 1 year, like soon we're gonna have a break and I won't have to deal with all this. But no, we need to deal with it because we're so busy with school, with things outside of school, at home. Like, there's so much going on in our lives. We need to take a breather. For me this year, I started to do yoga, I started to meditate, I started to journal my thoughts and stuff. If I couldn't talk to somebody, yeah, I was trying to, you know, just ease down a little bit when it came to the stress, because that's the last thing that you want this year, because that can really just take a toll on your grades, bring your grades down. Like, of course grades are important, but mental health is a priority, okay? Don't be afraid to cry. Now, I cried a couple times. At first I was like, bro, I bet people are looking at me like, why the heck is this girl crying, and is she okay? No, I wasn't, and I feel like we just have to kind of accept that we're all human. We're not just students in school. We have emotions, and if the time comes and you can't cry in the bathroom, that sounds so depressing, but if you can't, let it out. Let it out. It's okay. You're not alone. Everybody goes through this junior year. You've cried at least once junior year. There is no way that you didn't have something going on up here your junior year unless you just didn't do work. Like, there's no way. Okay, so the third tip is to stay organized. Now, this is something that kind of brought in the perfectionism when it came to routine, because I had everything written down in my planner. But at least I knew it was going to be happening. I got this planner from Etsy in the beginning of the school year, and it has a weekly spread for each day, has a monthly spread, calendar, everything, top priorities for the week. I usually go in at school and write down all of the assignments that I have, any deadlines, any tests that are coming up, as soon as I'm told, because I know that that's just gonna go in one ear and out the other. I also list stuff that I have going on outside of school. Like when I was working, I would write down when I had my shifts and what time I had those shifts at. I would write down when I had stuff for clubs after school, if there were any community service events, or just any performances that I had, because if you don't know, like, I'm a dancer, I'm an actress, I'm a singer, I always have stuff going on. So this planner came in handy so much. I don't think I would have survived the year without one, to be honest. I don't know how people go around school without a planner. Like, the school literally gives you a free planner and y'all don't use it. And then y'all wonder why y'all are stressed. Get yourself a planner, please. What I do is every Saturday I fill out the next week ahead so that I know what's going on. I have an idea. I don't want to lose track. That is the last thing I want to do. I went one full week in the school year without filling out my planner, and it was hectic. If you hadn't used a planner before and that worked for you, all right, but junior year, you're gonna need it. I'm telling you right now. So is this tip number 4? I don't know, but it's the next tip. Time management is so important. Like when I just talked about writing all the stuff that you have planned in your planner, you need to be able to manage your time. This is something that you should start working on now, because you're definitely gonna need it in college. This year is definitely the year just to prepare for college in general, but time management, there's so much going on. I had reminders in my phone. I would make sure that I had time to relax too, because you don't want to do too much. You are gonna be able to manage your social life with your work life. You just have to figure it out for yourself. Don't do too much at a time. Like, you already have school, which takes up over half of your day. Like, you get out in the beginning of the afternoon and then you have a couple hours to do clubs, to do sports, to work, but you don't want to overwhelm yourself to the point where it's like, oh, I have like 3 activities scheduled at one time. Which one should I be going to? Which one is a priority? I've done that a couple times. Don't do it. Don't. Or be like, oh, I have 3 clubs after school and we can stay after school for 1 hour. So how about I go to this club for 15 minutes, that club for 15 minutes, and this club for It's too much. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. Take it easy, one step at a time. No need to bombard yourself with activities, because we really just don't have time for that. We don't. The next tip is going to be to communicate with your teachers and have a friendly relationship established as soon as you can, like the beginning of the year. I'm not trying to say like be the teacher's pet, but like participate in class, like let the teacher know that you care, because I'm gonna say it right now. The difference between a student who participates in class and somebody who sleeps in class is a big difference. So if you are the student who participates in class, let's say that there's a deadline for an assignment, but you need a couple of days, and you go up to that teacher and discuss with them after school or either after class, like, hey, I'm just gonna let you know right now, I'm gonna need some extra time for this assignment. I'll have it in either the next day or 2 days after it's due, if that's okay with you, and have like a respectful conversation just to let them know what's going on, because to be honest, that's better than just handing it in late. And since you are the student who pays attention in class and participates in class, the teacher is most likely to give you an extension compared to the student who sleeps in class or doesn't say a word, you know, because they know that you're about your work. So definitely communicate with your teachers. I know me and my teachers were like this year, because like I said, junior year is a mess. Junior year is hard, it is busy, it is hectic. You gotta do what you can do, negotiate what you can. So the next tip is about the SAT. Beginning of the year, first week of school, usually my school has like a bunch of posters by the office or the guidance office talking about the dates that are listed throughout the year for the SAT or the ACT. Now, you may be like how I was my junior year, and I was like, okay, they have a lot of tests going on at the beginning of the year, but I'm really busy and I want to give myself just a few months to study, you know. So how about I schedule my test for March? Man, I wish I had taken that test in December, October, September, sometime earlier than I had scheduled it for because, you know, the coronavirus happened and my test ended up being canceled. So the sooner the better. Start studying now. If you're watching right now and you haven't started studying for the SAT, start now. Okay, because I know some people like to take this test multiple times and they know what they want. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna take it one time because, to be honest, I'm gonna be a musical theater major. I don't really need the SAT anyway, but I just thought that if I took it, it would make me look better because the schools I'm applying to are test optional. For everybody else, that's not the case. So even if you don't know what you want to do in college, you don't know if the college that you're going to is going to be test optional, which I'm pretty sure most of them are now because of the coronavirus and all the cancellations of the SAT. I'm just gonna say right now, schedule that SAT or ACT as soon as you can, because if it's canceled, dang, that sucks. Okay, the next tip is going to be to go on college tours and visits. Schedule tours for schools that you may want to apply to. The sooner the better, to be honest, because I know a lot of people tend to wait into the summer after junior year to look into the stuff that they want to do for college, but man, I started so early. I planned my first 2 college visits in December of last year, and I visited Pace University and Juilliard. Now, I didn't like Juilliard, but Pace University was definitely my top choice. If I get into Pace University, best believe you will see me there in the fall semester of 2021, period. But yeah, go talk to your guidance counselor, talk to your parents about options for colleges that may be best for your major, or if you don't know what your major is, start looking into that, because I mean, I know we're young, not everybody knows what they want to do yet, but you can go to college undecided, so don't give up now. And when you go on those visits, you want to take notes, make a pros and cons list when it comes to tuition, when it comes to housing, how much money they may offer you for scholarships, for merit-based scholarships, and write the deadlines for applications and for everything when it comes to applying, so that you are in the knowing. If you're going into your junior year and you want to start looking at colleges, do it now. And I know it can be very overwhelming and very stressful, especially if, let's say, your parents aren't there to help you, or you don't have access to your guidance counselor now. But before you can go to talk to your guidance counselor, be like, hey, I have this list of colleges, let me know what you think, or if you know anything about these colleges or anything better, any opportunities for college fairs, definitely look into that as well. Okay, the next tip is going to be to focus on yourself. Okay, this is your junior year. You cannot let people come into your life and destroy everything that you just built up for yourself, okay? Don't do it. It's not worth it. If there's any toxic, messy, just people in your life with negative vibes that are holding you back, I don't care if it's like, oh, well, I've known Julia since we were in 4th grade. We've been friends for so long, and I just don't see why I should break that relationship off. Break it off. Break it off. If you are left feeling angry inside and feeling like when you go see these people, you have to change up who you are to make these people happy, or you're putting other people's needs before yours, don't do it, because you're going to get off track and it's going to ruin everything. You need to surround yourself with good people who are on the same page as you intellectually. Don't talk to people who are going to ruin the vibe, who are going to threaten your success, threaten your goals from being accomplished. Don't do it. I'm begging you, don't do it. The next tip is to join clubs, join sports, do community service. Just take advantage of anything that your school is offering, because I know a lot of people, their freshman year, they're like, oh wow, okay, like I'm in high school, I gotta start doing really good now, like we're not in middle school anymore, we can't just be sluggish with our time, like we need to fill up that resume. But then there's also the people who are like, you know, when it comes time for college, then I'll start doing stuff. But girl, you really could have been building that up the last 2 years, and now you want to do something? Now? Yeah, so okay, take advantage of what your school offers. A lot of schools offer a lot of clubs, a lot of sports, a lot of things that you can do to be a part of the community. Even if your school doesn't have funding, I'm sure there is something that you can do. Do stuff that may apply to your major. Something to get involved in that particular area, because if colleges see that, they're gonna be like, oh, so like, okay, I see you really care about this. Like you're really about this. You're devoted to it. You're taking time out of your day after you've already been in school for 7 to 8 hours to stay at school longer in this particular field. They're gonna like to see that. So explore your options, don't be afraid. In doing this stuff, you're gonna get to meet new people, make new friends who are like-minded to you. So okay, so the next tip I feel like is just a basic high school tip. Don't buy too many supplies. Some teachers on their syllabus, they'll tell you what's required for the course, and a lot of them tell you to get 1-inch binders. Let's say you're carrying 4 1-inch binders in your backpack every day, along with a bunch of notebooks and folders and It's just way too much, girl. It's way too much. If you have time to go to your locker during the day, between classes when you need to, without being late to class, feel free to get all the supplies that you need, because that's what I did. I was like, yeah, like, I have my locker. My locker was the farthest away from all the classes. Every year, they gave me classes on my schedule that were just like 3-minute walks to get to the next class. And we only had 4 minutes in passing time. So yeah, I was late to almost all of my classes just because I had to go to my locker because my back was hurting from my giant backpack. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that next year. I'm not even gonna be in school next year because, girl, Corona. Even if your teachers tell you to buy all these binders, I know some teachers like to do supply checks in class to make sure that you have everything that they told you to get. Maybe buy the stuff, but keep it at home. Like, don't lug it with you. Like, keep one main folder with the papers, the handouts that you need for the day, and empty it out and fill it back up throughout the week. Like, don't lug everything with you because it's going to be way too much. I'm telling you. You may or may not have time to stop at your locker if you have so many supplies, and that back will be hurting, okay? Like, I know my high school isn't that big and I be having to walk all over the place, so I can't imagine schools that have like 5-floor buildings. Why? Yeah, no. Okay, and the very last tip for junior year is about AP classes and college courses. Now, I know it's your junior year. You finally have access to most of the AP classes and college courses that your school offers, but just because it's AP and just because it's at a higher level doesn't mean that it's meant for you. I'm sorry. Do not just take those classes to build up your resume. Take those classes if you firmly believe that you will be able to pass. Yes, of course, you should definitely be going into those classes ready for a challenge, knowing that it's going to be difficult, but are you willing to put in the work and time to study, to take the notes, to do all the homework? Because I know I've taken honors courses and I thought those were bad. Child, me personally, I have never taken an AP course or a college class just because the ones that I am planning to take, you had to be a senior to do those. So that's what I'm going to be doing this year. But for my junior year, I didn't have that option. But definitely when it comes to AP classes and college courses, schools love to see that, but they also want to see if you did well in it. So if you're looking at the requirements, if you're looking at the syllabus and you feel like it's going to be too much and you already feel overwhelmed just looking at the syllabus when it tells you about all the tests that you're going to have to take throughout the year, don't do it. You're wasting your money. Do not do it. And also when it comes to AP classes, not every college supports those credits. Same with other college courses. I know like most community colleges will offer courses to local high schools. Not every university, especially big and like top tier Ivy League universities, they don't take any college's credits. So you may want to like translate that, go onto the college websites. When you know what college you want to apply to, go into their website, call them up and ask if they accept the credits from the college you are taking the course from, or if they accept AP credits, because not every school does. That stuff is expensive. You have to pay to take the course, you have to pay for the textbooks, and you have to pay to take the test at the end of the year just to get the credits. I'm sorry. Like, we're already going to be in debt when it comes to college, and you want us to start in high school? No. Okay, but that is the end of this video. I hope I was able to help you out. If you're a junior, you know, this is going to be tough. I'm gonna let you know, but if you apply most of these tips to your schedule, to your routine, I bet that it'll be a little bit easier, because this is what I did during my year for the most part. Heavy on the organization and the mental health. Like, take care of yourself, be nice to yourself, go easy. Like, you do not want to be stressed this year. Nah, you don't want to go through a depressive episode. That's not going to be cute. Definitely feel free to comment any other questions about junior year or high school in general. I'll make sure to answer those as soon as possible when I see it. Also, like I said in the beginning, like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notifications so that you don't miss any of my future uploads, and go to the link in the bio to follow my social media. I have my Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, make sure to follow my Depop because I'm selling some new clothes. I'm trying to just rebuild my wardrobe, so that would really be great if you could support that. Thanks for watching. Take care.